Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm kind of going to dip my toes into uncharted territory. I've never really done a video before about products that didn't work out for me or that disappointed me before, and the reason for that is that I don't want to say that I'm very clever with my purchases, but I try to be very strategic and I do quite a bit of research before I buy something, especially if that something is really expensive. But I just don't buy products that disappoint me all that often, so to be honest with you, I haven't really gotten around to trying that many products and I don't really have a large amount of things that didn't work out for me. However, over the past couple of months I kind of started to make like a list in my head of all the products that didn't really quite work out for me, and I started writing them down. I want to tell you that a couple of the products that I'm going to talk about I actually don't have anymore, so I'm going to insert pictures of them because I don't really like to keep things that don't work out for me, especially if they're more on the expensive side and I know that they're going to work out for somebody else. I just pass them along to someone who is going to enjoy them, because one thing that I really despise is makeup that isn't being used and enjoyed by someone. I just think makeup is so much fun and it's so awesome and it really shouldn't stand in someone's drawers being neglected. I think if there is someone who will enjoy it, I'm going to just pass it along, no regrets. So without further ado, let's just jump into the products that disappointed me in the past year or two. And the first one I want to talk about is one that I don't have anymore, and that is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Illuminizing Powder, or Naked Illuminizer Powder. I am going to have a picture of it so you can actually see the name of it. It came in this really beautiful holographic packaging and I had very high hopes that it would be a pressed powder that kind of does the same for me as my favorite Urban Decay loose powder. Unfortunately, the two were nothing alike. I must admit that one of the biggest reasons I bought this powder is because of the packaging, because the packaging looked so beautiful, and you know me and Urban Decay packaging, we just have a thing going on. So I bought the powder kind of on a whim without really reading too many reviews about it, and I tried using it quite a few times, but it did not work out. First of all, and something that I was willing to overlook, is the powder had chunks of glitter in it, like chunks of glitter that if you come up close my face you can really see. You couldn't really see them from afar, so let's say the glitter didn't really bother me that much. The thing that really did not work out for me was the effect this powder had on my face makeup. Like 5 minutes after I would put this powder, my foundation would look horrible, caked up, and it would age me with 10 years. So unfortunately that powder did not work out for me and I passed it along to a friend of mine, and I'm happy to report that she really enjoys the powder and I've seen her wearing the powder and it looks beautiful on her. It makes her skin glowy and healthy, and it had the complete opposite effect on me. So that is one product that I'm happy to report worked out for somebody else, although it did not work out for me. The next product I want to talk about, or actually a brand and several of their products that did not work out for me, is Dose of Colors. I'm actually really sad to say that none of the Dose of Colors products that I have tried so far have worked out for me, because I really want to like the brand. For one, it is owned by this beautiful, lovely Armenian woman called Anna Petrosyan, and if you didn't know that about me, I have ethnically speaking Armenian origins, even though I was born and raised in Bulgaria and I currently live in the Netherlands. I am Armenian, ethnically speaking, genetically speaking. I've even done genetic tests to prove it. I've always wanted to be a fan of Dose of Colors because, like I said, I really like Anna and I really like the way the brand carries themselves and presents themselves. Unfortunately, ever since I tried the very first product, things have not been going well for me and Dose of Colors. The very first product I bought, again, I don't have it anymore because I threw it away after not using it for 2 years and it had dried up, was the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Bury Me. Gorgeous color, beautiful packaging, but the formula was just too thick, too uncomfortable, too drying, and it would wear out in a really ugly way for me personally. This color in particular did not work out for me, and unfortunately that kind of put me off to trying any more Dose of Colors lipsticks, so I haven't really purchased anything lipstick wise from them anymore. Then last year I think Beauty Bay was having some sort of a sale and I picked up one of their highlighters and their fan highlighter brush, which again I don't have anymore because I passed them along. So the highlighter I actually did like. The formula was really beautiful. I don't remember the name of the highlighter anymore. How was it called again? The highlighter looked absolutely beautiful. It had that beautiful like vein design on it and it's a baked highlighter, and the formula was actually really nice. However, the color that I picked out, which is Pearl Dust, was way too cool tone for me, and it leaned a little bit like almost lavender purple when I put it on my skin, and I have a very warm undertone to my skin, so this highlighter really clashed with my skin tone. I tried using it a couple of times when doing more cool toned looks, and it did look really nice with those looks, but how often would I have really used it? I knew that I wasn't going to use it very often, and my sister-in-law is much more on the cool tone side, and I think it looked much more beautiful on her skin, so I passed it along to her together with the fan brush. The fan brush, unfortunately, I did not like at all. I think that fan brush was meant to work with the highlighter or highlighters which have a more like dusty and powdery formula, but anything that is a little bit more hard pressed, no way you can use this brush for. It was really way too soft and the bristles were way too sparse. I did not like that brush. So for the sake of you know, passing along the product to her in a complete package, I did actually give her the brush as well. I haven't really asked her how she enjoys the highlighter, but my little makeup heart really hopes that she's enjoying it, because it would mean so much to the poor highlighter if it was getting any use. The next few products I actually do still have, because I am actually still trying to make them work. The first one is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick Radiant Makeup Foundation. It looks like this. It comes in this super reflective gold packaging. It looks like a stick, and then you open it here and you can use the sponge applicator to apply it if you want. I don't really use that, I just kind of twist it up and then I use my Real Technique sponge to apply it. This is not a horrible foundation, but compared to the Double Wear original formula and the light formula, this works much worse for me. The formula is much thinner, although the color is very nice because it has a bit more of those yellow undertones that really suit my skin, but unfortunately it just does not look the same, it does not look as flawless, and it doesn't stay as well on my skin as the original and the light formulas. So, and an additional disadvantage, this was as expensive. I think you get twice less product, and it did not work out as well for me. So this is kind of a regret, and I am trying to kind of mix it in with the other foundation so that I can use it up. The next two products I want to talk about are not necessarily products that didn't work out for me or that I really regret buying, but I was a little bit disappointed by them, and those are the Makeup Geek highlighters in the shades Lustre and Daybreak. So Lustre has very beautiful neutral pink tones to it, and Daybreak was supposed to be a peach highlighter. This is how they look like, and I am going to swatch them for you because this is where the disappointment comes from. So the first one I'm going to swatch for you is Lustre, so the pink one, which looks like this. And then let's swatch Daybreak as well, the peachy highlight. These are very beautiful, and just like with Makeup Geek's formula for highlighters, I really do enjoy them because they are very smooth and they're very reflective. The thing I don't like about these highlighters is that they kind of look really similar when you put them on the skin, and especially Daybreak, which I was really hoping for to have that beautiful warm peach undertone to it, turns a little bit into like a purple lavender. And I think the problem with these highlighters is that the base to them is very sheer, or maybe it's not sheer, but it's completely overtaken by those like pearl particles that make the highlighter so glowy. So when you put them on the skin, they kind of end up looking the same. I mean, I've really piled them up here and you can see a little bit of a difference in their tones, but when you put them a little more subtly on the skin, you can barely see any difference. So I was a little bit disappointed by these. I do like them, I do use them, and I do like mixing them in with other highlighters to intensify the base a little bit, but they were a little bit of a disappointment. And the last product I want to mention in my kind of disappointing products is from Spectrum Collections, and this is the A04 brush from the like white with copper packaging deal. So I recently made an order from Spectrum because I wanted to buy a backup of some of my favorite brushes, and because they were on sale, and the brushes from this line were on sale as well, so I decided to pick up a backup of my absolute favorite Spectrum brush, which is the original Spectrum A04, which looks like this. And I don't know if you watched any of my favorites videos, but I've talked about this brush a bunch because it is my favorite highlighter brush in the whole wide world, and I decided to pick up a backup of it. However, last moment I decided to pick up the white version instead of the pink and purple version, because I figured let's just have, you know, variety, and also this looks beautiful. That being said, these brushes are nothing alike. I think you can clearly appreciate that they don't even like remotely look the same. First of all, this brush kind of has like this tapered end and it's a bit flat on the sides, whereas the other brush is, the bristles are a bit more, I want to say, sparse. It doesn't have that beautiful tapering here on the top, and it's just much more, it's just much bigger and fluffier, and unfortunately it just doesn't pick up product the same way, and it's a bit too big. And don't get me wrong, I still use it, I still really like it, but I regret not picking up the original one, because I think the original one just sits much nicer on your cheekbones than the one that comes in the white and copper packaging. So guys, this was my list of products that I regret / was a little disappointed by currently. Let me know whether you have picked up any products recently that you kind of were disappointed by or regretted buying in retrospect because they didn't work out for you, or for whatever reason you just didn't like them as much as you expected to. I'm always curious about the products that didn't work out for people and their reasoning behind it, so let's just talk about makeup that didn't really work out for us, because I know we're all more than happy to talk about all the makeup that we love, but every now and then we pick up products that are just not what we quite expected. Okay, so let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!